Don't fall into the trap of thinking that you don't have to try to cooperate with God in getting rid of some stuff. Because imagine that you have a glass of contaminated water, and you pour in another half a glass of clear water thinking that that will make it okay. And it's still kind of contaminated, so you pour in another half a glass. It splashes over, but it's still contaminated. Pouring in the new, pouring in the clean, pouring in the good into a contaminated container, it's still contaminated. You need to get rid of the contamination. You need to loose all of the corrupted thinking so then it's cleaned out. Then, reading the Word, it comes in pure and clean, and your soul doesn't try to twist it or thwart it to its own purposes. The soul will continue to exert its power to try to enforce any lies it has put in place. Now, some of those lies actually turn into addictive thinking, like fear. Fear is very addictive. When you're praying with the binding and loosing prayers, of course, you always pray the binding prayer first. Bind your will to the will of God, your mind to the mind of Christ, and your emotions to the healing balance of the Holy Spirit. Then loose fearful thoughts. Maybe you have to do that 3, 4, 5 times. I used to have to do almost every one of these things that I was loosing at least 3 times before my soul would decide whether or not I was serious. And I finally figured out why. Because it used to be when I ran up against hard things in my life, I would try once to overcome them. I would usually try twice, but I would never try the 3rd time. I would just say, oh, well. So my soul said if we can just get her past the first 2, she won't bother us anymore. Well, I changed that theory real quick, and I bothered it a lot. And I don't care if I have to pray the same prayer of loosing something out of my soul 12 times.